So today, all right, maybe I'll start again. It's tough to, how do I host it on my own? The Optimism Fractal and Optimism Town Hall ecosystem. What is even the Optimism Fractal and Optimism Town Hall ecosystem? Everybody in Optimism, everybody in Optimism Fractal. Connections and collaborations while building a playful, that says dystopia. Oh no, it's supposed to say protopia. What is going on here? It's supposed to be protopia. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Optimism Fractal. We're here for our Season 6 finale. I'm your host, Dan Singjoy, and I hope you all enjoy the show. So, everyone's welcome to join us here for our 72nd event where we'll play the Optimism Fractal Respect game as we always do and have our final Optimism Town Hall of the season. It marks the conclusion of our 6th season and our last community gatherings before the winter break. So it offers valuable opportunities to connect with the Optimism Fractal community and reflect on our achievements and plan for the next year. So we'll start by playing the Respect game, and then we may have an Optimism Town Hall, and this is how we build a playful protopia together. The Respect game has been the cornerstone of the Optimism Fractal community for the past 2 years now. We just celebrated our 2-year anniversary, so thank you everybody so much who's contributed and been along with us on this journey. You may realize that it's only me on the camera right now, and that is because nobody joined the events today. So we'll see. This is currently about 50 minutes in or so, and so maybe people will join for the town hall. But I figured we'd get rolling anyway because we had our final event of the season planned, and I think it's a good opportunity to share what we've been up to in the Optimism ecosystem, and we'll see what happens. So everyone's welcome to check out our 2-year anniversary video highlighting lots of great community contributions during the Respect game from 2 weeks ago, as well as the Optimism Town Hall episode featuring discussions about some new really exciting ideas for our 3rd year. And I just want to once again give a special thank you to everybody who made both Optimism Fractal Season 6 and the past 2 years of Optimism Fractal so special and has contributed so much to our community over the past 2 years. I'm deeply grateful for everyone's support, and I'm really excited to see all the things we'll do together in our 3rd year. So, if you're not familiar with Optimism Fractal, it's a community dedicated to fostering collaboration, awarding public goods creators, and optimizing governance on the Superchain. As I mentioned, we host bi-weekly events on Thursdays that provide a perfect place to network, make friends, and collaborate with talented builders on the Superchain, such as myself. And there's about 100 people or so who have participated in Optimism Fractal events over the past 2 years. So I encourage you to join in our Season 7 and in 2026, and we'll have lots of great collaborations, I'm sure. And I think we'll grow the community a lot around that time as well. At each event, we play the Respect game, an innovative on-chain social game pioneering new forms of communication. Of community communication and coordination. So basically, participants share what they've recently done to contribute to optimism, feel free to introduce themselves, and then they work to collaboratively rank each other's contributions and earn respect, a soulbound token that provides growing benefits as our reputation system expands. We record videos such as this one for every episode, where everybody can showcase their work, share what they've been doing, as well as watch to learn more about the Superchain and Ethereum ecosystem and the Fractal ecosystem. And we are implementing and testing the Optimystics toolkit, a open source suite of tools for community coordination and decentralized governance. Optimism Fractal is an excellent place to develop your on-chain career and your business, whether you're new to Web3 or whether you're experienced and already leading a team. You can use our tools, you can build your reputation and so forth. We've received wonderful feedback over the past few years, and we have lots of benefits and articles on the website that explain more about the use cases of Respect. We're also building in public with our Notion site and our open source repositories, and there's lots of opportunities to earn funding across the Optimism Collective, Superchain, and Ethereum ecosystem too that Optimism Fractal may be able to help you with. Optimism Fractal has been pioneering the future of governance for 2 years, along with other communities in the Fractal ecosystem for the past 4 years or so. And we have a rich history and community intents and ways you can get involved with the governance and the Optimism Fractal Sages Council, the Optimism Fractal ORDAO account, and many others that you can see on the screen here. Optimism Fractal is founded and presented by the Optimystics team and supported by the Eden Fractal community, which has been kind of like a fractal father or fractal mother for the Optimism Fractal community. So Optimism Fractal is building on the Superchain and helping to foster the growth of the Superchain. If you're not familiar with the Superchain, it's an interconnected network of blockchain scaling Ethereum on an open source code base called the OP stack. And we support this vision by fostering collaboration and improving governance, optimizing governance, and awarding public goods creators on multiple networks like the OP mainnet, Base, Worldsonium, Inc., Unichain, Mode, Zora, and many others. You can learn more at optimism.io and ethereum.org. Of course, Optimism is working to scale the technology and values of Ethereum, and great stuff happening across the ecosystem. So I encourage you to check it out, as well as join our bi-weekly events. The next one occurring will be on January 22nd, because we'll be embarking on our winter break. And then from there, we'll have a bi-weekly events every other week on Thursdays. As I mentioned, we celebrated our 2-year anniversary 2 weeks ago, and we also had a special anniversary event there. So check out optimismfractal.com/videos or the Eden Creators YouTube channel for these. I encourage you to like and subscribe. We had some really great discussions here. You can also find these on the Optimistics videos page too. Optimistics spelled with a Y, like mystical, where you can see like a little overview and some show notes when you click into it, from both the Optimism Town Hall and the Optimism Fractal Respect game too, particularly in the town hall. I had a great discussion with Tadas about some ideas that he's been sharing with the synchronous respect trees and the gardens concept. So check it out, and I would appreciate any feedback in the Optimism Fractal Discord, as well as our upcoming events. Eden Fractal will still be occurring next week too, having the last week event of the season on the November 20th too. So I encourage you to join these. Optimism Fractal Season 6, for the past 6 months or so, it's been occurring, starting in May. And so you can see the Optimism Governance Forum with an overview of kind of all the things we've done, or just basically like a high level overview of some highlights of things that have been happening of each seasonal event and so forth in Optimism Fractal, as well as some related community events. So this is a great resource to see what's been happening over the course of season 6. And once again, thank you for everybody who's contributed. Each one of these videos shows wonderful experience and stories and great contributions. I just put out a post today, welcoming people to join, or the Optimistics team did rather, for this one. So, and also we actually updated our Optimism Fractal website database. We're working on it, but now you can see all the episodes in kind of a nice, beautiful gallery view too. So this shows more about the amazing things that our community has been doing over the past couple of years. So just want to once again showcase that. That'll soon be at optimismfractal.com/videos, and encourage you to join and invite your friends to Optimism Fractal on the Optimistics event calendar, lu.ma/optimistics or luma.com/optimistics, where you can find Optimism Fractal as well as other events that we host. We love to meet you and meet new people. As you can see, we like to grow the community. We like to have more people in here. But I'm happy to host the show for today, and then we'll prepare for Optimism Season 7, Optimism Fractal Season 7. Thanks to, and special shout out to Zaal also for putting out this tweet to help promote and spread the word for Optimism Fractal Season 6 over here. I encourage you to like and subscribe to everything that Zaal's doing. I want to give a bit of community news as well here. I put out a proposal a bit late for the respect distribution for Eden Fractal or Optimism Fractal Event 71. There were some technical issues, but you can now see it on optimism.frapps.xyz. This is the ORDAO application that we use to distribute respect on chain after each event. This usually happens during the event, but it came out a couple days late because there were some technical issues I had to troubleshoot with Tadas first. Of course, you can learn more about this at optimistics.io/ORDAO to see how it works, the on-chain infrastructure for Optimism Fractal. And also, this was announced at the previous event, but we recently did approve a proposal to start Optimism Fractal Season 7 on January 22nd, 2025. So just a reminder, we'll be taking a pretty detailed or longer break for Optimism Fractal than we ever have, actually, to focus more on enjoying the holidays and resting, and also plan for the upcoming season and prepare. So you can see, I actually didn't get a chance to go into detail about this proposal, but if you look at the page on the screen, or if you explore the Discord and find a link to this on the Optimism Fractal Snapshot space, then you can see all the rationale that I shared comprehensively for starting Optimism Fractal Season 7 on January 22nd, 2025. We use the Optimism Fractal Council to make this decision. optimismfractal.com/council. Encourage everyone to get involved with these kinds of decisions as well. And then for today's event, I also did put out this little article inviting everyone to join Optimism Fractal, or rather Optimism Town Hall, where we can kind of celebrate the conclusion of Optimism Fractal Season 6. So we'll see if anyone joins here for the Town Hall, but otherwise we'll kind of just have maybe a combined episode with the Optimism Fractal and Optimism Town Hall, where I'll just give a little update about what we've been up to here, as well as maybe play a new kind of respect game. We'll see. So also I want to give a little update too, a little reminder that Eden Fractal, like I said, it's having its last event of the season, season 11, next week on November 20th, and then it will be returning on January 15th, 2026. So you can find more details here. Check out t.me/Eden Fractal and edenfractal.com to learn more. And you can watch all the most recent videos from Eden Fractal and Eden Town Hall on their respective websites to see what the community has been up to. The chat's also been very lively. So I encourage you to check that out in the Eden Fractal Telegram chat. And yeah, so basically now you can register for all these events at luma.com/optimistics, and we hope to see you there. So now is the time when we would normally play the Respect game. So if you're not familiar with the Respect game, I kind of give a little intro before, but it's an amazing on-chain social game that grows communities, makes governance fair, fun, and naturally scalable. And like I said, we've been playing this each week, and usually it says here participants gather in small groups of 3 to 6 people. And I think even if you go to the Optimism Fractal slash optimismfractal.com/details, then you would see this is also like our formal intents of Optimism Fractal as well. That, and I just remembered this, by the way, that at the start of each meeting, participants are randomly distributed into breakout groups of 3 to 6 people, and each breakout group plays the respect game, which lasts for 45 minutes. And then basically each participant of the group is given 4 minutes, up to 4 minutes to present their contributions. They should answer the following question: what did I do to grow optimism over the past 2 weeks? And then after everyone has had time to present, the group tries to reach consensus on the rankings of the contributions. And the participant who contributes the most gets the top level. And the participant who contributes the second most gets the second top level, and so forth. And people get more respect according to this respect distribution, goes according to the Fibonacci curve, or Fibonacci ratio rather. And so forth. So most people who've been watching know how it works, but the Respect Game is still very new to a lot of people. But here is another thing that is relevant here too. So Optimism Fractal has an executive contract, which is the ORDAO. It's an on-chain smart contract selected by consensus process to execute on-chain actions necessary to distribute, respect, and implement the will expressed by the consensus process. An executive contract can be changed by the consensus process at any time. And there's also the consensus process, which I mentioned in the Optimism Fractal Council as well. So the reason why I'm bringing this up again is because usually at every Optimism Fractal Respect game, we have had uh, over 3 people to play, 3 people at least to play. There's been between 3 and maybe 15 people who have joined Optimism Fractal at each event prior. So we go and have at least one breakout room and we play. But today, it's just me. And we've already approved this proposal to start Optimism Fractal Season 7 on January 22nd, 2025. And our events in all of our prior seasons have been 12 events each. That's how it works. So I'm thinking that what would be good today, and just maybe to test out our processes and try to play a new kind of respect game, is that if I just play the respect game here, and then I make a proposal via ORDAO to respect people who I think have contributed a lot to Optimism Fractal. Because even though people haven't joined, people have been contributing a lot to Optimism Fractal over the past couple weeks. And I know that for a fact because I've been reading their messages and discussing with them and sharing with them. And so I know it's not always easy to join an event at a certain time and people might not be available. Hope that everybody's enjoying their day. But I think it's still an opportunity to share respect for everybody who has contributed, or not everybody who's contributed, because I don't know, it'd be tough to make multiple proposals because there's been probably dozens of people who have contributed over the past weeks in some degree. But I figure I can play one game and just make a proposal via the ORDAO app over here to distribute respect to myself and 5 other people who I think have done really great work. So it's kind of a new kind of respect game. Of course, the Optimism Fractal community could decide not to approve this if it wants to, using the consensus process of ORDAO. As you can see on the screen, the ORDAO app is made such that there's a certain threshold of respect votes that need to be approved in order for a proposal to be approved, such as a respect distribution. You can see like the most recent proposal has all yes votes, and there's this little black bar there. So we'll see if the Optimism Fractal community doesn't agree with this, then of course they can veto it, and then this wouldn't go through if the community doesn't believe that it fits with our consensus process enough. But to me, it seems like this is a scheduled event at Optimism Fractal's current time. Everyone's been invited. We put out lots of promotions, and people just haven't been able to make it. So and we have a software that allows people who have earned a lot of respect, such as myself, to make a proposal, and this democratic system, or DAO, to see if people don't agree, then they can disapprove it. So that's I think what we're going to try today, and we can watch and you can watch and see what happens. And then of course, if you have any thoughts, feel free to share it in the Optimism Fractal Discord over the break as well. So I'm going to go ahead and share what I've been doing. This is kind of a fun way to do it too, in a new, interesting way. Of course, I'd love for more people to be here, and I hope to see you at the next event. But it's also kind of fun to be able to speak for a while and try this new thing on camera here. So, and it's an interesting way to end Optimism Fractal Season 6. So let's go. I have another tab over here which shows what I've been doing. So I suppose with this, at this point, if anyone wanted to jump in with any questions or comments, they could. But since I don't think that will happen at the current moment, I see actually Swarthy Hatter has been sharing some messages in the Eden Fractal chat. But well, I'll just go ahead and share what I've been doing to help optimism over the past 2 weeks, and I'll give a 4-minute presentation. Maybe I'll go an extra minute or two because I don't think anyone will stop me here. And then after that, I will show you the creation of a proposal, and also maybe I'll do a brief wrap up for the town hall. There's a couple things I did want to share with the community. I just haven't gotten a chance over the past few events, so I hope you all enjoy what I did to help Optimism over the past couple weeks, as well as the remainder of the show. So, and by the way, this is still a live Zoom room, so there's a chance that somebody might pop in because this is currently actually, I started late, so this is currently during the Optimum Town Hall event. We're 15 minutes in, so the timing is a bit different here. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and share what I did. If you're not familiar with me, you can check out dancingjoy.com. I am founder, creator, and host of Eden Fractal and Optimism Fractal. I am co-founder of the Optimistics team and founder of the Eden Creators team. Also co-founded Optimism Fractal with the Optimistics team as well. So I've been hosting these events and working a lot behind the scenes to produce the videos and organize the community in lots of different ways, coordinate technical development, and also hosting and organizing the Eden Town Hall and Optimism Town Hall, as well as some other shows. And I like to play music and stuff in the side time, in the spare time. But I've mostly focused on building the Superchain lately. So let's see what I did this week. I did host, it looks like my slides are a bit out of order here. So um, for one thing, I hosted an Eden Fractal event last week. This was the second to last event of the season, and I also drafted the text to promote this. This was particularly a special promotion because it's the first time that we played the asynchronous respect trees game that Tadas, or rather synchronous respect trees game that Tadas proposed. It's a new coordination method to choose topics for what or we're currently using for Eden Fractal. Maybe it could happen for Optimism Fractal as well. So I put some work into helping to facilitate the game, as well as inviting people to join the Eden Fractal event and Eden Town Hall event. Eden Fractal is operating on base to implement these fractal decision-making processes like Optimism Fractal is pioneering throughout society. So I did that, and we had a great show. I think this is actually the video from 2 weeks ago, and the video from or the video from I don't know if this is the most recent video. I think this is actually the one. Yes, this is the one from 3 weeks ago, but the one from last week will be coming out soon. We actually had on two guys from the Based Creators team. Which is doing some really cool work to build a global network of creators, builders, and entrepreneurs helping each other to succeed through referrals and collaboration. Toncho and Ryan, two, I believe, founders of the Base Creators team, they've been pretty interested in the Respect game and so forth, so gave them some educational information about respect games and fractal democracy and fractal governance. I also gave Vlad the opportunity to promote the new Respect Game app that he built. It's at RespectGame.app. So he shared this. We had a discussion about fractal tokenomics at the Eden Fractal Town Hall, or the Eden Town Hall rather. And the videos for these will be released soon. I had also hosted, like I said, the Optimism Fractal 2-year anniversary, and I had put out this proposal for the respect distribution, and I had also at this Optimism Fractal event, I had given some information and answered some questions at the Optimism Town Hall event as well to Mikhail, who's been the founder of Community of Communities, doing some really interesting stuff. And Tadas and I had this great discussion about gardens, which I've been working on quite a bit as a new kind of liquidity provision and public goods funding protocol, which I'll share more details about soon. And hosted the space and then worked to collaborate to produce the video. And then I also work to organize the database for the Optimism Fractal videos, as well as I was shown before too, so that coming back in the new season, we can have a better kind of way that people can look through all the prior seasons of Optimism Fractal, as well as Eden Fractal and other shows too. I put out the proposal for serving on the Optimism Fractal Council for period 72, and then I posted the promotion for Optimism Town Hall, as well as worked on the promotion for Optimism Fractal. So I posted this in several different places, as you can see on the screen, and yeah, helped draft this message over here too for the Optimism Fractal 72, where it's at right now. There are some questions in the chat from Swarthy Hatter about Eden Fractal, because he's been working to start Fractal Nouns, a new initiative that's supporting Eden Fractal's mission with the Nouns ecosystem, and also he's been working to implement the Respect game in another community too, the Bad community. From what I understand, I think that's an acronym. So I shared a bunch of responses to him over here in this chat, as well as to Tadas. We had a great discussion. Encourage people to check out t.me/edenfractal for more details. And then also I updated our vision article for the Eden Fractal to show the vision of Eden Fractal because this article was a bit outdated and it needed some updates for it to be better understood after Tadas shared it. I realized I need to update that. In addition, I also promoted, like I said, the Optimism Town Hall and the governance forum in a few other places. And then I also reached out to Harvesto, who's been doing a fractal research project, and encouraged him to start maybe sharing his stuff sooner, and as well as because he's done some great interviews, as well as share a public message asking for people to join his research project. So helping to support him there, and I also supported the facilitation of the Respect Trees game that Tadas has been creating. And then I've been in contact. Nuno reached out to me, who's joined some Optimus Fractal events in the past, and he's interested in um, selling or kind of raising awareness or implementing something to do with the Respect game and fractal governance in BrightGov. So I've been working on a response to him as well. And I suppose maybe lastly, or just about lastly, I've been working on that Gardens idea, which I'm originally envisioning as a regenerative liquidity and capital allocation system that directs on-chain resources towards communities creating public goods. I'll be releasing more details about that soon. It goes along with the new Fractal ecosystem plan. I've also been learning a lot about different things like the Dromos new launch and Uniswap Lab. I was learning more about DeFi happening on the Superchain and learning more about some of the shows happening as well. So I think that I can stop it there. I probably went over 5 minutes, but it's nice to have a bit more time to share my work here and I hope everybody enjoyed. So with that, um, I think what I'll do is I'll share who I personally am going to propose that we give respect to in this kind of new kind of respect game. This is actually um, yeah, maybe I won't mention it because I could go into some philosophical things about it, but it is interesting though with the new ORDAO software, basically, due to its optimistic quorum, um, and the way it works. Basically, the way that we've always played the respect game in the past is, and the way that I think it works best in most cases, because obviously you want it to be like a community kind of event where many people join, and it's meant to be naturally scalable, where we have hundreds or thousands of people joining events. And currently in these early stages of building, we just haven't gotten nearly that size of scale yet. But yeah, usually, like I said, we've always had at least three people to play, and so it's always clearly within the stated intents of Optimism Fractal. But ORDAO, which is also in the stated intents of Optimism Fractal, shows how one person with enough respect, if it meets the parameters of the respect of the ORDAO smart contract, basically, which is you can see it on the screen right now. I don't want to go into too much detail about it. And Tadas has also done a great job of explaining this or in the OREC article, the optimistic respect-based executive contract. Then you can see basically there's certain variables in specification, and there's a 9-step process that says that basically anyone can create a proposal to execute an on-chain transaction, and then people can vote yes or no during the voting period. There's also a veto period where people can also vote no, which is the enabler of the optimistic quorum system. And then there's a minimum proposal weight threshold for yes votes. And then the yes votes must be at least 2 times more than the no vote, as well as the proposal weight threshold to be met, as well as the full veto period and voting period time to be approved in order for the proposal to be said to be passed. So I will be making a proposal to distribute respect according to the specifications of ORDAO and OREC, as you can see here. I'm going to be making it in this Optimism Fractal website, optimism.frapps.xyz, the Optimism Fractal ORDAO app website, I should say. And you can see here the veto period and voter period. I think they're both 1 week long. And I have over 256 respect because I've participated in a lot of respect games here at Optimism Fractal. So I have enough voting power to approve it on my own if nobody votes against it, but there will be 2 weeks for people to vote against it if they don't believe in this process. And then we would see what happens then. But anyway, you could see how it looks here. So I'm going to go, and I don't have actually everybody's accounts in front of me right now. You can see, for example, the last event, people's accounts there. So I think I'll actually make the proposal on chain after the event closes, just for convenience and timing sake and so forth. So I don't bore you with me trying to find everybody's accounts. But basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to new proposal. And then normally we'd use the Fractalgram app where we form consensus and we're each voting on it. But as I'm the only person here right now, I'm just going to be using my own consensus as the only person in this breakout room to just determine who I think is deserving of respect this week from Optimism Fractal. So I'm going to go into respect breakout where I can mint respect to a breakout group from respect game. And then, oops, I'll have to log in here. So I'll try to do that now. But basically, it'll just give me a form where I can um, select people to distribute respect to. So maybe actually it'll take me a second to sign in. So maybe I'll just show you here. But basically, I'm going to make a respect breakout. It's going to say respect distribution for event 72 as opposed to 71 because it's just the 72nd event. And then I'm going to put in these rankings. And the people who I am proposing right now to get respect for Optimism Fractal in this game, and I mean, this is partially just like I have to choose. Like I respect everybody who's contributed to Optimism Fractal and many people who are doing great stuff on doing great work on the Superchain that is supportive of Optimism Fractal's goals. So I could, maybe try to make 10 proposals and give respect to 60 people or 100 people or hundreds because there are really hundreds of people doing great work on the Superchain, even if they haven't participated in Optimism Fractal yet. But for simplicity, I'm going to make one proposal, and there's a max of 6 people who can play in each respect game. So I'm going to have 6 people included in this respect game, and just people who kind of came to mind to me over the past week or two, actually, that have contributed a lot to the goals of Optimism Fractal and the stated mission of Optimism Fractal, which is to foster collaborations, award public goods creators, and optimize governance on the Superchain. So that's going to be ranking. So um, I'm going to rank myself, and then I'm going to rank Rosmari, Tadas, Vlad, Zaal, and Swarthy Hatter, aka Timothy. These are the 5 other people, in addition to myself, who came to mind of people who have contributed a lot to Optimism Fractal. And so I guess here's my rankings too. I'm also going to share some big news here too. Some very exciting news that people in the Optimism Fractal community might not know about. Some personal news. So I am going to first give level 6 to Rosemarie. People who are very familiar, like kind of core community members, Optimism Fractal community, who have been around for a while, will know, but most people do not know. Rosemary and I are actually getting married, and she has not been able to participate in events. She's a co-founder of Optimism Fractal and Optimistics. Um, you guys should actually close this actually so I can have a bit more personal talk here. But yeah, Rosemary is a co-founder of Optimism Fractal and Optimistics. She's been here with us since the beginning. She has been able to join Optimism Fractal events for the past 2 or 3 months because she's currently constrained by some visa requirements. I've been meaning to like kind of share this with the community, but didn't know the best time or the right way to do it so far in public. But I figured, being that this is the last event and we're actually getting officially married publicly, or not publicly, but like having our wedding next month, I figured that this was a good chance to do so. So yeah, so I want to give her respect partially because she's contributed a lot to Optimism Fractal and Optimism over the past 2 years, and also she hasn't been able to formally work here while she's dealing with visa requirements, but she's also still supported me for Optimism Fractal a lot, as well as supported the community in all the ways that she can while she's not able to officially work. So I wanted to give her some respect because I feel like she really deserves it. And yeah, I wanted to share that news with you too. So I'm excited to announce that. For people who don't know, actually, Rosemary and I met at Eden Fractal about 3 years ago, almost 3 years ago, at Eden Fractal's 35th event. So it's been a wonderful time so far, and I'll share more details soon. But well, there's a lot more I could share about it. But for now, I'll just continue playing the respect game because I feel like it's best to stay on topic. But I'm pleased to announce that and excited to hear what everybody thinks about it. So. I'm also going to rank myself as level 5 here because I'm here at the event, hosting it. And this is a lot of work to host these events. I've been doing this for a few years now, and I put together all these presentations. And also, as you can see, I've been doing a lot. I've been working on this full time, and it's been a big sacrifice to do all these things I've been doing. And I'm really excited about it. And I think that the things I've been doing have been making a very big impact on the Optimism Superchain. So, and I think that impact will emerge more and more over time. So I'm gonna rank myself level 5 here. Um, I could rank other people, like other people say, for example, I'm gonna rank Tadas level 4 here, and I think Tadas is doing incredible work too. I have a bit of a preference for myself because I'm at the event right now. So that's why I'm voting myself over Tadas and others right now. Given that I don't think that Optimism Fractal would be here today if I weren't hosting it. So that's one of the default reasons. And I haven't been able to see everybody's contributions specifically, like presented in front of me. So I'm going to rank Tadas at level 4 because Tadas has done, I've always felt like Tadas hasn't earned the amount of respect from Optimism Fractal that he deserves. I mean, I think he has the second most or third most or something like that, so he has a lot. But Optimism Fractal just wouldn't be here without Tadas. He's done an amazing job of all the ORDAO software that he's built, and he's also greatly contributed specifically to Eden Fractal, which is working to expand the process of Optimism Fractal across the superchain and working so on base. He's been sharing some excellent messages, helping out Swarthy Hatter and helping out the community with his implementation and facilitation of the synchronous respect trees game too. Part of me wants to bring up all the things that they're doing, but I already shared some of it. But Tadas has been doing a great job of that, as well as some of the things I know he's been doing. He shared some great articles actually about the history of fractal tokenomics and about respect credits last week. So I know he's been working really hard over the past couple weeks in support of the Optimism Fractal's mission. And also, I know that this is a late time for him too. So I imagine that's probably one reason why he couldn't make it today because it's very late, and we haven't yet rescheduled the timing of our events here at Optimism Fractal to account for that. And then I'm going to give a level 3 to Vlad. Vlad's also a co-founder of Optimistics. He hasn't been at most Optimism Fractal events. He's had to focus on some other projects as well, but over the past month or so, he has built the new RespectGame.app, which I think is really which is a really exciting app. So he actually demonstrated at Eden Fractal or Eden Town Hall last week, and he shared it at the Eden Fractal event too. So I wanted to give Vlad some respect for Optimism Fractal for doing this, building this app as well. And so check it out, respectgame.app. And then I'm going to give level 2 to Zaal. So, and I feel like it's a little bit like the dictator game because I get to choose here now. I remember we joked about that at some point. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and rank or vote or nominate Zal for level 2 here because Zal helped promote the event even though he couldn't make it today. And Zal's been doing wonderful work with the Zao Fractal. He's also shared some great ideas in our chats that we've been having and in the Fractal Nouns chat and the Eden Fractal chat. So much respect and appreciation for Zal. And then I'm going to give a level 1 to Swarthy. So Swarthy has not actually joined Optimism Fractal yet. I've invited a couple of times. So he's very welcome to join. But he's been getting really into Eden Fractal over the past couple months, and he's recently launched this Fractal Nouns community or NFT collection that I shared, and he's been sharing a lot of great messages. He helped introduce, along with Zaal, helped introduce us to um, Ryan and Toncho from the base creators, and yeah, he's also working to implement the Respect game in a couple other communities too. So he's been contributing a lot, and I really appreciate that. So that's who I'm going to propose. I'm going to find their accounts, and I'm going to put that up there. But that's my rationale. If anybody has any disagreements or any thoughts, then feel free to share them in the Optimism Fractal Discord, and you're very welcome, like I said, to also vote on the Optimism Fractal ORDAO app, which once again you can find at where can you find it? Optimism.frapps.xyz. And for anybody who wanted to learn more about the way that this app works, check out optimistics.io/ORDAO. There you can find the GitHub repository and more details about it. And there's also 20 videos that we've produced, over 20 videos in the ORDAO playlist, as well as some great introductory videos here where we give like an overview of the app. For some reason, the thumbnail's not loading, but there's two videos in particular that have really good introductory overview to the app where you can see how it works. So I'm excited to see how this new kind of respect game will go, how the community will respond to it. I'm curious to hear your thoughts and happy to hear any feedback. And I'm looking forward to playing many more respect games with many others and hope to see you there. See, I mean, it's a little bit disappointing that more people aren't here. I mean, I greatly appreciate that everyone's participated in the community and given us so much of their time and effort and put their hearts into it and so forth over the past couple of years. So, um, I don't know. It's just a little bittersweet because it's been a wonderful 2 years, and now I'm the only one here. But we have had, like something like 100 people who I mentioned, and we've had all these amazing events. So I'm interested to hear what the community will think about this kind of episode, and hopefully, and I hope and I believe that we'll have many more people joining next year as well. And I think that we're really almost ready to scale it to really the potential of Optimism Fractal over the next year, and well, it's a many-year progress. Part of the idea of, by the way, this says playful dystopia back, but it's supposed to say playful protopia. Part of the idea is that we're building a protopia where we get a little bit better every day. And so not everyone will be able to make it every day, and we're making progress a little bit here and there at a time. But I think that next year we'll have a really big year for Optimism Fractal, and I think that we're in it for the long term, and so we're going to be building the next year after that and so forth. And I'm really excited to see how the community will grow over time, and excited to see everybody for Optimism Fractal Season 7. With that, I think I'll probably start to wrap it up here. I'm going to give like a very brief town hall kind of episode. I think we're going to just publish this in one episode. But for anybody who's not familiar, Optimism Town Hall is a collaborative forum for discussions about Ethereum and the Superchain with a special focus on community coordination and governance. And we host these usually bi-weekly events, or they usually go along with Optimism Fractal events. It's an interactive space where everybody can learn about optimism, Ethereum, and the Optimism Fractal community participates here a lot, and we contribute to important conversations about the collective's future and the superchain. So we have the system where people can propose topics to discuss in our snapshot space. And so I just proposed this topic pretty quickly so that we'd have the space for discussions if anyone would like to. But yeah, you can check out optimismtownhall.com to watch all the videos that we've made so far, and also join the Optimism Fractal event to gain influence in this community. There's yeah, I already kind of went through some of these posts here before. I suppose one thing that I brought up here that I just want to mention a little bit. I think that this is just about a year ago, actually. Actually, it's 1 year ago today, so that's interesting. Today's November 13th. I put out this post recognizing impact critical context for retrofunding reviewers and governance participants. And I guess this might just be worth just just sharing a little bit of. I don't know exactly what I'm going to say here, but um, for anyone who's not familiar, 1 year ago, Optimism Collective held the season 7 of Optimism Governance, and one of the main core features of Optimism is its funding mechanisms. There's retrofunding, previously called retro PGF, short for retroactive public goods funding, and there's also missions as well that people can apply to. And these things have kind of changed; they're kind of actually merged. They're all missions now in Optimism Season 8. But just for simplicity, there's these kind of two mechanisms that people can earn. And the original idea of the Optimism Collective, if you go to optimism.io, it's actually not, they've changed the website. So it's more focused on the infrastructure and the margins, which Optimism is creating excellent software with the OP stack. So I understand why they focus more on the technical and modular stack that they're building. Um, However, one thing that I think this website, like, so big props to the Optimism team for building this website because I think it's really nice. And there's amazing apps and networks that are building on Superchain, like Base, like Aave, like World, bringing on millions of people, like Sonium from Sony and so forth. So really cool stuff going on Optimism. And I'm very pleased to be part of the collective supporting the community and then the Superchain. It used to be more focused on the collective, and I think now the collective is like the governance body of the Optimism. Um, yeah, basically, the Optimism Collective governs over the superchain is the idea. And now it used to be right at the beginning, but now it's kind of towards the bottom. If you go to optimism.io/collective or collective documentation, then you can learn about how the governance system of the Optimism superchain governs over the superchain, basically. And I'm actually seeing this. I think this part of the website is pretty new, so I'm glad that they have this because last time I went here, I didn't see this aspect. But they talk a little bit about getting rewarded for building a super chain and so forth. There's lots of really cool stuff here. So I encourage you to dive into optimism.io/collective. I think this is. And there's also more details and documentation about the token house and citizens house as well. So if you were to go to the Optimism Collective blog at the bottom here, then you would scroll all the way down. Actually, they have two different blogs. So if you go to mirror.optimism.xyz, if you go here, you'd see all these great updates about season 8 of Optimism Governance and the new things that the Optimism Collective is doing. And also, you could go down and view more entries. You could see retrofunding 2025, which is what I was talking about before, and Sonium and welcoming L3s and unified superchain. I've read most of these articles, and there's a lot of great stuff here that is a wealth of information for people learning about optimism and also the future of public goods funding and governance, because the Optimism Collective has done a great job in supporting or mm, having this vision of creating a better, more equitable internet with better infrastructure with the OP stack, with all the benefits that it comes with scaling Ethereum and the benefits of blockchain and so forth. And they've also done an excellent vision of furthering governance in blockchain and in the world, really. They had this idea, Ether's Phoenix, that um, impact should equal profit. And this was the core principle, the core axiom of retroactive public goods funding. This is an idea that that Vitalik had shared here. or originally that largely inspired optimism. And that's one of the reasons why we launched Optimism Fractal, because we heard about retroactive public goods funding and the Optimism Collective, the Token House, and the Citizens House. And we were really excited, myself and the Optimistics team, we were really excited about the potential of optimism and the way that Optimism Fractal could connect, because our fractal governance that we've been working on for years, we saw a lot of alignment and synergy between what the Optimism Collective is doing, and what fractal governance and respect games can provide. And the funding is also really important too, as a bootstrap community, who had been largely volunteering for the past 4 years or so, as of now, since 2021. So yeah, basically we saw a good kind of synergy between the Optimism Collective and the Optimism Fractal community. And I guess the reason why I want to bring this up is because I think, I kind of just want to, while I really appreciate what Optimism Collective has done over the past 3 years or so since it's launched. And I love the direction that they're going in with the OP stack and all the progress that's been made. I feel like the Optimism Collective has kind of not supported its original vision as much. They used to have a page, optimism.io/vision, where they talked about the vision. And that was one of the things that inspired me about the Optimism Collective. And it used to be more about the retroactive public goods funding, and it used to be more about, but the governance to secure the future of the superchain. And that's still there, and that's still an important part. And I understand why they're currently focused on the infrastructure gaining adoption there. But um, I feel like um, I feel like there's I feel like there's a missed opportunity right here for optimism right now, because optimism hasn't given hasn't yet recognized what Optimism Fractal is doing for optimism yet. And I guess that's why I brought up this recognizing impact article that I wrote, 1 year ago today, because 1 year ago today there was probably like 12 or 14 people joining every Optimism Fractal event on average. We had probably the most lively period of Optimism Fractal at that time, and people were really excited. And part of the reason why people were really excited is because they thought, there's a way that they could get rewarded or awarded, because they also saw potential fractal governance. But as it turned out, Optimism Fractal did not get, or the teams that I launched, and made these proposals for, I made these applications for Optimism Fractal Respect Game events and Eden Fractal events, because it's built on Superchain Optimism Town Hall events, and Optimistics tools and so forth. And we did a whole episode about this, so I won't go into too much detail about it. But basically, for the most part, really, the Optimism Collective did not recognize what Optimism Fractal community is doing, because I guess it was too complex. Maybe my applications were too confusing or convoluted or whatever. I worked really hard on these, but that's where it was. So I guess the reason why I bring this up right now is, um, for anybody in the Optimism Collective watching this, which I don't know if they will be watching it, because, for example, we have these pretty long and detailed threads we put here, and I see they get hundreds of views. And some people have made some great comments. Shout out to Gene. But it's mostly us commenting here, and so we haven't yet gotten that much support specifically from the Optimism Collective yet. Many people in the Optimism Collective, I guess, who we brought into the Optimism Collective, but a lot of people from the Optimism Foundation and so forth. It was great meeting them in East Denver last year. I'm kind of rambling a little bit here. My apologies, but I think what I'm saying here is important, and so I want to just try to just convey this. So basically, I want to just let people in the Optimism Collective know that I think that in the future, in the next season, and in the coming years, there's a lot of opportunities to collaborate with Optimism Fractal. And for what we're currently doing here, like, I think it's kind of a missed opportunity a little bit for the Optimism Collective to not be further supporting the Optimism Fractal community. But at the same time, it makes sense, because we've been early stages building and we haven't really been able to have the bandwidth for more growth. So perhaps it will all work for the best. But I just wanted to bring that back, because at Optimism Fractal, we haven't, it's been kind of like an independent community. It's been an independent community, but we haven't been that closely collaborating with a lot of the members of the Optimism Collective. And it's been more so community members who are interested in fractal governance who are participating in Optimism Fractal. So anyway, take that for what it is. Maybe it's some uh some thoughts that need to be further refined in the future. You can find all these articles on gov.optimism.io. And one other thing I'll bring up here too is that in preparation for Optimism Fractal's 2-year anniversary celebration, I'd put out this post, inviting everyone to the anniversary celebration and kind of summarizing Our journey so far here at Optimism Fractal, and telling a little bit of story about how Eden Fractal community members formed the Optimistics and created Optimism Fractal, and how week after week we've gathered to share our work, evaluate contributions, and most importantly, build the relationships that form the foundation of any thriving community, and how along the way we've met many amazing people who have not only shaped our direction, but have made possible everything we've achieved together here at Optimism Fractal, and making the community more special than we could have imagined, and how the Respect game has brought us together, and provided governance and helped us better understand more people, recognize the contributions of more people in the Optimum Collective, and across the super chain. And without each person's unique contributions, Optimism Fractal wouldn't be what it is today. So anyway, as it says here, there's been about 100 events with 100 people between Optimism Fractal and Optimism Town Hall. Probably more than that actually between both of them, but at least that amount. And yeah, the reason why I brought this up is because I put together this page with some potential areas for focus for discussion about community growth and sustainability and enhanced superchain integration and software development, innovation, and sustainable funding models. A lot of stuff we've been talking about at Eden Fractal and the Eden Town Hall. So I encourage you to join those events. Also, partnerships and governance evolution and eventually global expansion. So you can read these on the article or read these in the Optimism Fractal snapshot space if you're interested. Encourage you to dive in and encourage you to contribute. But I think that there's both a lot of room for Optimism Fractal to grow, and I'm excited for this upcoming break because it's been kind of it's been a lot of work, and so having the extended break will be really nice. And it'll also be good to take some time to celebrate with family and so forth. And I hope that everyone enjoys their break as well. And then when we return on January 22nd of next year, as we've approved in our proposal, um, then we'll have a lot to discuss, and we'll be kind of as Jesse Pollock and the base team says, sometimes we'll be starting at day one because we'll be well, we'll see. I mean, every day is day one, as he says. We'll have been building for multiple years, and we'll have all this momentum from there. But also, we do in a way we need to build the community so that we have many people joining and many people loving it. Because while we have this kind of experimental respect game today, where I played a Respect game on my own. Really, Optimism Fractal, it's a community, and the Respect game is meant for communities to play. So we need to make sure that more people join Optimism Fractal, and we get a lot more people to join Optimism Fractal. And I have some exciting news. I know other people in the community have some exciting news and ways to contribute more to the collective and contribute more to the Ethereum ecosystem and support the growth of fractal democracy. And so I'm really excited for you all to see what we have coming in store for next year. And I ask for your support too. I ask for you to um, help contribute to the community, join the events, invite friends, and contribute in whichever way you can for Optimism Fractal, as well as the broader superchain, as well as the broader fractal ecosystem. So, thank you all for listening. This was an interesting new kind of episode. And I'd be curious to hear any feedback, like I said, in the comments in YouTube. Like and subscribe, by the way, as well as the Optimism Fractal Discord, the Eden Fractal Telegram chat. You can find all the links um, at optimismfractal.com or edenfractal.com. And remember to RSVP for our upcoming events too. So if you go to the events calendar, Optimism Fractal will be returning. We'll probably have a Optimism Town Hall as well on January 22nd. And then Eden Fractal and Eden Town Hall will be happening on November 20th and then returning on November 15th. So thank you all once again for being here. Thank you all um, for watching and being here on this journey with myself and other members of the Optimism Fractal community. And really excited for the next steps that we will take together. Thank you. And well, we usually end it with a Go Optimism Fractal. So look forward to seeing you in the new season. And go Optimism Fractal. See you later.